Have you ever stopped to consider the state of your financial stability? It's a question that might keep you up at night. But what is financial stability? It's the assurance that you can meet your financial obligations, handle unexpected expenses, and have the means to enjoy life. It's freedom from the constant stress of living paycheck to paycheck, the freedom to pursue your passions, interests, and the things that make life worth living. Imagine not having to worry about the next bill, or the next unexpected expense. Imagine being able to take that vacation you've always dreamed of, or invest in that hobby you're passionate about. That's the power of financial stability. It's not about being rich or having a mountain of money. It's about having control, about knowing where your money is going and making it work for you. Financial stability isn't about being rich. It's about gaining control over your financial life. The first step towards a solid financial foundation is paying off your credit card debt. Let's take a moment to understand why. Credit card debt is like a stubborn weed in your financial garden. It's notorious for its high interest rates, and if not addressed, it can quickly spiral out of control, creating a cycle of debt that's difficult to break free from. Why are the rates so high? Credit card companies are in the business of making money. They do this by charging you interest on the money you borrow from them. The longer you take to pay it back, the more interest you'll have to pay. This is why credit card debt can quickly become a financial burden if not managed properly. So, how do we tackle this issue? There's no one-size-fits-all solution, but here are a few strategies that have proven to be effective. Firstly, target one debt at a time. If you have multiple credit cards, focus on paying off the one with the highest interest rate first, while making minimum payments on the others. This approach, known as the avalanche method, can save you a significant amount in interest over time. Secondly, always aim to pay more than the minimum payment. The minimum payment is just that, the bare minimum. It's designed to keep you in debt longer, and thus, paying more interest. By paying more than the minimum, you are reducing the principal amount faster, which means less interest in the long run. Lastly, consider transferring your balance to a card with a lower interest rate. This can give you some breathing room and allow you to pay off your debt faster. But be cautious, as there may be fees associated with this move. Remember, paying off credit card debt is not a sprint, but a marathon. It takes time, discipline, and consistency. But the feeling of freedom that comes with being debt-free, that's worth every step of the journey. So stay consistent, keep your eyes on the finish line, and before you know it, you'll be there. Remember, paying off credit card debt is not a sprint, but a marathon. Stay consistent and you will cross the finish line. Once the credit card debt is taken care of, it's time to build an emergency fund. Now you might be thinking, what exactly is an emergency fund? Simply put, it's a stash of money set aside to cover the financial surprises life throws your way. These unexpected events can be stressful, and worst of all, expensive. Things like losing your job, a sudden health issue, or urgent car repairs can't typically be predicted. An emergency fund is crucial because it's your financial safety net. It gives you the peace of mind knowing that if something goes wrong, you're covered. It's the parachute that softens the otherwise hard fall of unexpected expenses. Without one, you're left open to the risk of financial hardship or worsening debt. So how do you build an emergency fund? The answer is little by little. Start by setting a goal. Most financial advisors recommend having enough to cover 3 to 6 months of living expenses. To give you an idea, if your monthly expenses are $2,000, your emergency fund should ideally be between $6,000 and $12,000. Once you've set your goal, it's time to start saving. Aim to set aside a certain percentage of your income each month. Even if it's just 5%, it's a start. Over time, that amount will grow, and before you know it, you'll have a fully stocked emergency fund. Make it a habit, just like brushing your teeth or making your bed. It might seem difficult at first, but remember, you're investing in your peace of mind. And where should you keep this fund? It should be easily accessible, but not so accessible that you're tempted to dip into it for everyday expenses. A high-yield savings account is a great option. It offers accessibility while also earning you a bit of interest on your savings. So there you have it. An emergency fund is not a luxury, it's a necessity. It's the cushion that softens unexpected financial blows and the key to maintaining financial stability. An emergency fund is your financial safety net. When life throws a curveball, you'll be ready. Now that you have an emergency fund, it's time to think long-term. It's time to think about retirement. Retirement may seem far off, especially if you're in your 20s or 30s, but the truth is, it's never too early to start planning. The earlier you begin, the less money you'll need to set aside each month to reach your retirement goals. This is due to the magic of compound interest. Let's say you're 25 and you start putting aside $200 a month in a retirement account. If that money grows at an average annual rate of 7% by the time you're 65, you'll have accumulated over $1 million. But if you wait until you're 35 to start saving the same amount, you'll only have just over half that amount by the time you retire. That's the power of starting early and the magic of compound interest. But it's not just about starting early, it's also about consistency. Make saving for retirement a habit. Consider setting up automatic contributions to your retirement account. This way, you're paying your future self first, before you have a chance to spend that money on something else. And remember, your retirement account isn't a piggy bank, it's a long-term investment. Resist the temptation to dip into it for non-emergency expenses. Early withdrawals can come with hefty penalties and they disrupt the growth of your savings. You might be thinking, but I have plenty of time to save for retirement. Yes, but remember the example we just discussed. The longer you wait, the harder it will be to catch up. The best time to plant a tree was 20 years ago, the second best time is now. Similarly, the best time to start a retirement account was as soon as you started working. The second best time is now. Starting a retirement account is planting a seed for a comfortable and secure future. And with time, patience, and consistent nurturing, that seed will grow into a sturdy tree that will provide shade in your golden years. With these 3 pillars in place, you've built a solid financial foundation. But what comes next? Now, with credit card debt paid off, an emergency fund stocked up, and a retirement account in existence and growing, you're in a position to think about what's next on your financial journey. This is where personal priorities come into play. It's time to consider what else you want to achieve with your hard-earned money. Perhaps you've been dreaming of a vacation to the sun-soaked beaches of Hawaii or the historical cities in Europe. Or maybe homeownership is your next big goal. You might also be considering amplifying your wealth through investments. These are all worthy goals, but it's crucial to prioritize them intelligently. Here's a tip. Think long-term. While a vacation might offer immediate gratification, homeownership or investments could provide long-term benefits and stability. This doesn't mean you should forego travel entirely, but rather balance immediate wants with long-term needs. Also consider the financial implications of each goal. Buying a home, for instance, often involves a mortgage and ongoing expenses like property taxes and maintenance. Investments, on the other hand, carry risks but also the potential for significant returns. It's essential to consider these factors when prioritizing your goals. Remember, your financial journey is unique. What works for one person may not work for you. It's important to align your financial goals with your personal values and aspirations. If you value experiences over material possessions, traveling might take precedence over buying a house. If financial security is paramount to you, focusing on investments might be the way to go. And finally, don't forget to revisit and adjust these priorities as your life changes. Maybe today, homeownership feels far off, but in 5 years, it might be your top priority. In the end, your financial journey is just that, a journey. It's not about reaching a destination quickly, but about making consistent progress towards your goals. Your financial goals are a reflection of your values and aspirations. Prioritize wisely. So, where does this leave us? Well, we've journeyed through the 3 basics of a solid financial foundation. We've understood the crucial role of paying off credit card debt, the safety net that an emergency fund provides, and the significance of growing your retirement account. Each of these pillars plays a unique role in your financial stability. Paying off credit card debt frees up your income, allowing you to allocate resources to other financial goals. An emergency fund acts as a buffer against life's unexpected turns, securing your financial footing. And a growing retirement account, that's your ticket to a comfortable and stress-free golden age. But remember, these aren't just abstract concepts. They are practical steps you can take, starting today. And as you work towards these goals, you'll find that other financial dreams, like homeownership or travel, become more attainable. Remember, your financial journey is your own. These are the basics, but the rest is up to you. Here's to your financial stability and success.